Billy Joel at number 32 on my fantasy playlist, September 6, 1986, up 4 from number 36, A Matter of Trust, from the album The Bridge. About 4 singles came off this album. Billy Joel was such a versatile artist. And I didn't fully appreciate it at the time, in his heyday. But looking back on it 30, 40 years, looking back, my goodness, you got the singer, songwriting tradition of Piano Man in 1974, Captain Jack, and the Entertainer. I think it was called I Am the Entertainer back in 1975. I used to listen to that on the AM radio stations, drifting in from at night from Knoxville, Memphis, Chicago. I'm showing my age now mentioning that, listening to that AM radio back in the day. Boy, that was prehistoric, but still brings back some riveting memories just the same. The love songs, Just the Way You Are. And Always a Woman to Me. And the In Your Face records, the almost rebellious, angry records, the FU records like Big Shot and My Life. Good Night, Saigon. God, that was brilliant. Didn't do well here in the States, but went to number 1 in the Netherlands, I think. That was in 1982. You got the rock and roll records like Pressure, Sometimes a Fantasy. Remember, Sometimes a Fantasy? When I first heard that record back in the late summer of 1980, I was blown away. I was floored. It was a great rock and roll record. Billy Joel, he was branching out, rocking out. That it was a new wave sounding record from Glass Houses, the 4th single, I think, from Glass Houses. Might have been the 5th single. God, I still remember it vividly. Going to work, I was working at a theater at the time. I was driving to work when the local radio station, top 40 station, WTBC, played the song. I was like, God, not a Billy Joel fan, but this record rocks. Mentioned Pressure. We didn't start the fire. We didn't start the fire. The history lesson, that was a genius. That was a genius stroke. Not his first genius stroke by any means. And then there was Uptown Girl, his send up, his homage to the Four Seasons, the Four Seasons sounding record. He hit those highs, that falsetto. You could hear him just looking at him. He's aping Frankie Valli. Knew a guy who was into a song by Billy Joel. If you're a Billy Joel fan, know all of his records. You probably remember, I think it was called Scenes of an Italian Restaurant or Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. I knew a guy who was really into that record. I believe that was the name of it. But let's get back to this record. Boy, I just got off the beaten path. The album The Bridge, Modern Woman, the first single, Modern Woman, went to number 10. Now once again, Billy Joel's versatility comes into play on this album. Baby Grand with Ray Charles and Big Man on Mulberry Street worked with 2 jazz musicians, Ron Carter and Michael Brecker. Cyndi Lauper singing backup on Code of Silence. And Modern Woman was actually kind of it was influenced by some of the more happy-go-lucky pop records by Huey Lewis and the News. Baby Grand didn't do too well on Billboard's Hot 100. Went to number 75, but still loved by a lot of people. Billy Joel fans, especially by Billy Joel's fans. Oh, God. Excuse me. Got to mention River of a Dream. River of the Dream was probably Billy Joel's last significant hit record back in 1993. That 50s. The 50s come to mind. I don't know why, but when I listen to River of a Dream, I believe that was River of a Dream, I was thinking of the Fleetwoods, the Drifters, 1957 Chevys, 1957 Plymouths. Yes, indeed. Matter of Trust, the video, he performed in the basement. It was in New York City's East Side. His wife, Christine Brinkley, was in the video, holding their baby daughter, Alexa. And I got to give Alexa a shout out. You got to listen to this song Alexa did back in No, she did it in 2010. Notice Me. It's brilliant. One of her, I love the record, Notice Me. It was coy, tongue in cheek. Lovely record by Alexa Joel. Notice Me. Had some of her dad's musical DNA in her system, musical system. Well, that's it. I guess that's all I got to say. Billy Joel, Matter of Trust, loved the acapella in this record. And this record is about, well, if you've been in relationships, you know the score. The passion kind of dwindles a little bit, subsides, and you start building a relationship based on trust and when you need each other at certain times, like in crisis. Partnership. That's the word I was looking for. Something that evolves into a partnership. All right, there we go. Billy Joel, Matter of Trust, at number 32 on my fantasy playlist, September 6, 1986.